according to the thing, people are not subscribed. Please subscribe. And the greetings and welcome back to the channel. Who call themselves Democratic Society. Because people blind and not see. Because how can a country or a people be democratic and say you're a democracy and you run an election and you win? Why would you now be going to the king to get permission to form a government? If you already win and it's a democracy, you shouldn't need permission from everyone. I'm telling you, this democracy thing is a game. It's a pageantry. It's not real. And regardless who win and what manifesto you make, when you go to collect the key and they take you in a room and give you their manifesto, you either agree and take the key or you disagree and walk away. And no one will disagree and walk away because everyone wants to say they're they so-called ministers and they serve as prime minister or presidents or whatever it is. So every time you vote for these people and a new party come into power, if you take note, you will see that nothing changed. You the voter is in the same position because the policy remain the same. Another thing, and it's everywhere, even in the Caribbean and all over. If you check it, all those people say democracy and you vote them in with a policy. When they get into government, it's not so. Look all around you and you will see. What people need is a total overhaul of the system. It don't have to be a violent revolution, but a total overhaul of the system, so that when you elect people to govern, they serve the people who elected them and not what you call elite and their interests. If you check in the Caribbean and other places, you will notice when it's election time, you will see all those politicians coming to bring food or 5,000 or in some cases, even Africa. I'm telling you this everywhere. And then once the election finish and they win and they get into government, you don't see them again until when the next election is coming close. I suggest a remedy for these so-called politicians, that in future, when the next election come around, these politicians only get 4 votes. Why 4? He's voting for himself, his wife vote for him and in 2 kids then. Well, 5 in my case. So that's how they should wake up the next morning with 4, 5 or 6, and that's because they probably don't even get the full vote from the household. So they should go to the poll and you go to vote too. Turn up and spoil the ballot. Yeah, that's what I would suggest. Turn up, vote, but spoil the ballot. That means you're voting for no one. Just vote for yourself. That's how it should be. Then they wake up the next morning with only 4, 5 or 6 votes. You would see a difference in the approach. Every time an election come around and you go and vote because it's part of your right. And you write down your own name. Or instead of put an excuse, you leave it blank. You turn up and be present and then leave the paper blank. That means you vote for no one. That's what I suggest. Don't write your name. It's probably now come back to bite you. Because you know what they are? They like to threaten people. Because they have so much power. I say turn up to the polling station, collect the paper, leave it blank and drop it in the box. Yeah, me then go count. This is the only solution to this problem is when the time comes for election and voting. You make the process go. You turn up and you leave the paper blank. That means you didn't vote for anyone. But then go name shit. And that include the Americans too. They have two party, Republican and Democrats. You also have other parties, but no one talk about them because they're not included properly into are represented properly in the process. So you would have these two parties who is chopping and changing every 4 years or 8 years. But the policy in terms of foreign policy and local policy and national policy to deal with the people and the people issue and problem is the same that these so-called elite or elites are only filling their pockets and their friends. This is corruption in the highest order. When they talk about African countries and all African countries corrupt, these are the most corrupt people on the planet. Give you an example. United States have 54 or 52 or whatever amount of states. It's over 50. And that is North America. Then you have South America with all these states. The problem is because South America is not united. So there are individual countries around there who is trying to compete with each other. I think it would make more sense if they unite and call it United States of South America. And you will see how quick they would be on a level ground or even not too far away. Maybe probably within 10 years they're just behind China in about 10 years. Same thing with Africa. So the goal of these people is to keep you divided because once you unite, you can compete. Same thing with Africa. And this is just my opinion. Don't have to be the opinion of everyone. It's just my outlook and my opinion. So this don't have to be your thought or your thinking. It's just my thought and my thinking. And if you think about it, really it makes sense. All right. If Africa come together, in Africa you have also 50 or 54 or 52, just like America, or similar number then. Even if the whole continent, because it's so diverse, couldn't come together, why don't East Africa come together then? Then East Africa is got a formula for such a long time. So East come together and start Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Rwanda, Burundi, even introduce Congo. Well, if you can't get everybody included, then start with 4 then. Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, and Rwanda then. Start all like that. One there is working. Actually, 2 of them is working. That is Rwanda. Use that formula across the board and see how it works. And if it's working for that person in a theme country, it might work for you. Why don't you adapt that policy and implement it? Since it's working for him, you can even upgrade it. If you see it already working for him, you can see over a 20-year period the mistake he make and don't make those mistakes, and then implement that policy. But it just show you that everyone who said they're in government is not there to serve the people. And if they go into government to serve the people, they quickly realize that you cannot do anything for the people. You're not allowed. And the moment you try, they either get rid of you or you've been discredited. Check all around, you will see. There's a brother in Burkina Faso right now, in that Sahel region, who is doing really well in terms of there's not much you can see, but there's much you hear. because they don't want to focus on the positive side of certain things, only negativity. And if you see in a short space of time how much improvements has been made because of the taking out of the corruption, that's number one. And so the money can go towards healthcare and provide food and other things for people and housing. Take these policies and implement it because it's working. But these blood sucking vampire um leech system that they have only designed to enrich an individual or individual families or a few families. And the majority of the world population is in a very bad state. And the minority are continuously pocketing all the wealth. Enough wealth that they even cannot live out the time to spend it. But that's that's what they're doing. So let us just open our eyes and see that these people who they put into government are being placed there to carry out the master's order. I say let us turn up at the next election, but let us leave the ballot box, leave the ballot paper empty to send a message to these so-called politicians that we people has had enough. Yeah, that's all I had to say today. But I'll be back here again very soon to have a conversation with oneself and with each other and with everyone. If those are out there to listen, just take note and look into what is being said and look around you and come to your own conclusion. Anyway, thank you for listening. Please remember to subscribe to the channel so that we can grow and have a wonderful day. Stay firm.